Okay, guys, I am live once again, and by your request, we are watching finally for someone Vox-Logs. So, what are these about, guys? Like, what they can think of, really? Well, I don't know, but we're gonna see. So, I'm curious to be finally introduced by your request, to the Vox-Logs and see what the awesome custodian yeah ooh you know will tell us today about the 20 Primarchs, two of which are mystery, I guess. Quite random. Okay. Also, Warhammer Fantasy. Well, that is totally different. And hi to, of course, Dioclyton as well, Deadly, and Vartus. That's totally different. I just got into the fantasy when I started playing Vermintide, basically, but I learned about Sigmar, which was very interesting to me, but it's really, really different from 40k. It's like alternate universe that just exists in another dimension or something. Dear guys, oh hi. So, without further ado, guys, let's see this. I want to see this. Hope it's funny. Hope it's funny.
Greetings, shield companies. This is me, on my brief respite from the throne room. I am currently in the process of calculating the integrity of the blood pumps, and I thought it would be as good a time as any, excepting all other times ever, to record a list of my top favorite Primarchs. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's good. From worst to greatest. Now, please, I know you in the emissaries might try and quote-unquote fact-check me into one of the dark cells, but please, you keep your judgment as you do your figure concealed.
Concealed.
This is not my opinion, Churl. I do not tout it as our Emperor's objective truth. As correct as it in fact is. So,
I love how
here we go. Number 20, skip. Number 19, skip. Number 18, Conrad Curse of the Night Haunter. Unwashed, toxic, ghoulish, scrawny for a Primarch, and no! Ew!
Yeah.
Absolute ew! Scrawny and Primarch are words that should be kept as far and away as a novel series worth of text from each other at all times.
Yeah.
Much less be used within the very same sentence. And yet Conrad curses this reality by making this description apt. Hate. As far as I have heard, he was also killed by a normal, which... that's like a normal dying to worms. It could certainly occur, but it is so earth-shatteringly embarrassing, it can simply not be spoken of. That being said, I am glad he is dead, for he was a spiteful bastard who would probably have my eyes turned to soup if ever he heard this. Number 17. So, I am someone who puts high stock in hygiene. It is technically one of my greatest charges as caretaker. I am the one who has to make sure that our Emperor, stasis-bound as he is kept sterile, without corruption, within and without. So with this in mind, the very idea of Mortarion causes me great discomfort.
Oi.
If our Emperor was ever to have Mortarion return to Terra, which I pray does not happen, I will fight to have him pressure washed with Titan-grade cleaning agents and burning promethium before even being allowed in the system.
Oh yes.
Every night, I hug my sponge collection in sheer dread at the thought that this return could become a reality. Number 16.
I get it.
Perturabo.
Ugh.
Yes, I am aware. Casting Perturabo in the ditch and shitting on him is exactly what everyone, including his entire family, has done since the beginning of time. He is not exactly a popular pick. In fact, if every other Primarch are the picks of the litter, he'd probably be the litter.
Oh no.
As in, litter as in trash. He's garbage.
Yes.
And that is exactly the reason behind me putting him this low on the list. And yes, indeed,
right here, Abby.
everyone treats him like garbage, but he also acts like garbage. So,
Yeah.
justify?
Acts like garbage.
There is some kind of a
Good point.
causality dilemma here, though. Like, is he treated like garbage because he is garbage? Or is he garbage because he is treated like garbage?
More like he's just
Is
garbage.
he the chicken or the egg? Some sort of really bitter, like childishly bitter chicken egg hybrid thing. I don't
You
know, but
lost me.
garbage is garbage, and I'd prefer it thrown in the compactor. Number 15, Alfarius Omegon. I know some enjoy the mysterious type, but honestly, bit too much this one. These ones, whatever. I'm not much for charging into the fray without thought. I wish to assess my targets before engaging as much as any of the 10,000. Know where I have them, my targets. With this context in mind, Alfarius and or Omegon, even speaking to them is like... I was going to say laying oneself bare. That is mildly funny. Basically, it'd be too vague as to whether or not he'd enjoy your presence, or if he's just evaluating your skin in case he needs it.
Jesus.
Not a fan. Number 14.
Not a fan.
Corvus Corax. Right, so yeah, I am aware placing a loyalist Primarch this high or low on the list. It's quite controversial, and you may call me traitorous for reasons intentionally designed to be impossible to argue against, but look! Fuck you! I do not condone the actions or personages of any traitor Primarch that comes after this one. I am just judging these Primarchs by my tastes. Okay, so yeah, Corvus Corax.
My taste. Okay.
I'm sorry, it's like Conrad Curse, but better, which sucks, because Conrad Curse is the worst, and it is quite hard to build oneself a ladder out of the abyssal shadow cast by the Spite Haunter. Corax is alive, however, and heading towards Terra right now. To him I say, there is still time to build that ladder. And by build that ladder, I mean building that build, and please, get a less slimy looking haircut. Those bangs are that of the sewer.
Oh my.
Number 13, Lehman Russ. I know. He's popular. Especially with those giddy for rustic brutality. And I will give him his due credit.
Magically, thanks.
He is built. He is a woven wonder when engaged up close. But there's just so much hair.
Oh.
So much hair. It's everywhere. One can barely get a glimpse of that physique. It sits like a fir tree plantation. I don't want to have to check my tactical display to know my location when in this man's immediate vicinity. I'm sorry. I will consider bumping him up if he just consider attaining a brush cutter. I want to eat, not floss. Number 12.
What?
Magnus the Red. Preemptive apologies goes out to my shield brother, who's a total Magnusite, but Magnus is what we in the business call a humongous nerd. Okay, so, to be entirely fair, Magnus has some nice sides. He is steadfast in his beliefs. He seems to always be trying his best, and not only is he quite bulbous, but said bulbousness is entirely accommodating due to his malleable presence in the material. All extremely interesting, and I would not blame anyone for buying into those selling points. I'm just not too into self-pity and like books. We don't match, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay. Number 11, Vulcan. Everyone loves Vulcan. His empathy is like an endless ocean. His moral character is his all. But listen, I am a custodian.
Oh, yes, you are.
I am a tool.
Oh.
And I don't know about you, but I am perfectly aware of and accepting of that. With this,
But you're also oily.
I do not believe I have the obligation, nor perhaps even the ability, to have the same level of empathy for the common folk of the Imperium as the likes of Vulcan. I do not care for the normals, the citizenry of the Imperium.
Oh.
It is not my job to care.
Come on.
And so it is, I do not care for Vulcan, for we have nothing in common.
What are you fighting for then?
Also, his armor is green, and that's like my least favorite color. Number
Yeah,
10.
mine too, actually. My least favorite.
Horus. Okay. So you might be surprised that the great betrayer, the one responsible for the Emperor's entombment, the one who razed our Imperium to the ground and lit a slowly spreading fire in its place, got so high on the list. And yes,
Oh no, I don't have a
that is
problem
quite inappropriate.
with the oiled.
But-
As long as they have bodies like statues.
Have you
it's
seen
perfect.
how fucking massive he is? Okay, that's it. Number 9, Lorgar. Oh.
Oh,
Okay, so
shouldn't be
you
like
might be
behind
surprised
doors.
that the first
least-
heretic, the apostle of primordial evil, the vile snake that helped plant the seeds of the Imperium's downfall, made it so high on the list. And in addition, he's both extremely small and
Oh, that's
weak
when I'm sleeping
for a
now.
Primarch. He's very preachy, he's condescending, he has intense daddy issues, and why is he so high on this list? Actually, I'm sorry, this is a mistake, my apologies. Lorgar is number 20, actually. I accidentally traded place between Primarch 14 and 19. The latter of which is significantly more respectable and substantially sized.
We are
Sorry,
watching top
huge
20
mistake.
Primarchs.
Just like Lorgar.
Vox-Log.
Number 8.
The custodian is explaining
Angron.
his reasoning behind his chart
Angron.
of Primarchs.
He is quite violent.
Ah,
in
that's understatement.
extremely over-the-top manner.
Okay.
It's not something I would usually go for, no. Honestly, it perturbs me slightly, and being in his presence would more than likely drive me to drink.
He's also
Prometheum,
filled with
that is.
complexes.
But
Insecurities.
somewhere
Yeah.
deep within, I feel like I can, at times, relate to Angron. And I feel like
Relate?
maybe
How come?
I could fix him.
What?
His power and his temper could be honed like an axe upon a grindstone, and that grindstone could be me. I feel like beneath that rugged, bloodied exterior, there is untapped potential.
Maybe if you put another
is a
tube in
very
his brain.
effective masseur.
Oh,
Number 7,
what in the heck?
Fulgrim. Justifying putting Fulgrim this high is incredibly hard because he is definitely not my type in most regards. He is quite thin and petite, Primarch way. He is all about sharp angles and sleek forms, long and straight, all pomp and no substance.
That's
It's just
interesting,
not
yeah.
my thing.
I mean, pretty accurate
But
description.
just like how I am not necessarily a great bulging fan of a certain art form, does not mean I cannot truly deeply appreciate a perfectly crafted piece of art within that certain art form.
Okay, well, what's
That's
that?
that's my justification, and it's not perfect. It will have to do. Number 6, Jagatai Khan.
Ah, okay.
Jagatai Khan is quite rugged and brutal, much like Lehman Russ. But he is, well, he's not super hairy.
That's a plus.
If I was a die-hard mustache man, then wow, I would perish in mustache land and the Khan would be my slayer.
So that's
Furthermore,
not.
he stands by his code of honor in a way unlike most other Primarchs. I find that knowing who you are, knowing what you are, knowing your beliefs and standing by them is an exceptionally ravishing thing. And that is why I stand by this opinion. Number 5, Sanguinius. What? What? You stab these words into my eardrums. Fucker,
Yes.
how dare you not put the great angel at the top of your list? I will have you converted into nutrient paste, bastard! Okay, please!
Oh my
Hear me
gosh.
out. I could not in good confidence put Sanguinius any higher on this list because, put simply, he is out of my league. He is
Oh?
out of everyone's league. I mean, sure, he's a Primarch, and the Primarchs are mostly out of our leagues, but Sanguinius it's different. He is the succulent, forbidden fruit hanging in the garden of gilded perfection that the Emperor himself has prohibited you from ever as much as glimpsing at. That is honestly too much for me. Sanguinius might be iridescent in his splendor, but the constant threat of being unmade with even a thought of doing absolutely nothing at all to him, not a thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't deal with that. Moving on.
So you just put him
four,
number 5
Ferrus Manus.
for the fact that he's perfect and you cannot
Manus
assimilate him.
is strong.
What the logic?
Steadfast. Sure, he might not be the most corporeally inviting of the Primarchs,
I should make the same top
but the
20.
rigidness of his ideals to improve humanity makes him, in my mind, so disgustingly handsome.
Disgusting.
Yeah, handsome. Hands, because iron hands. Speaking of his actual, literal iron hands, love that for him. That gives him an edge above all other Primarchs, as far as I'm concerned, if stripped to bare essentials. 18 Primarchs in the showers on Terra. Ferrus Manus is choking the shit out of them. All good. Okay, number 3.
What?
Lion L. Johnson. The lion, as a concept and as an aesthetic, resonate with me far, far more than the lion does as a person. But these things, the aesthetic, the concept, they resonate with me so incredibly hard, they make my gullet vibrate.
He's what?
Gallant, valorous, like someone out of an ancient tale. His being, or the idea of this being, exudes chivalry, and it makes me wish to rip apart the chainmail I desperately wish I was clad in. Had Caliban yet existed, I wish I could have gone there. On a journey alongside the lion, 2 steeds, and a Normalite bard in tow, whom we could torment for his inadequacies.
Okay, you have to go to therapy.
Number 2, Rogel Dawn.
Oh, we already know who's number 1.
Slight bit awkward. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Dorn for a good while now. He's been present in the palace, ever guarding his father's remains, much like the rest of us. And yes, he is quite forthright. To the point where he could just as well stab you to death on a whim if he honestly thought you were a flaw in the structural integrity of the palace. But that is also what I adore about him. He knows when he is right. He knows when he is wrong, and he will stand by the truth, no matter where it may lead. He is a fortress that cannot be beset. And I
Such
would
a
love
words.
to find a life within that fortress. Okay, number 1.
I'm inspired.
Rubuzi Gilliman. Okay, first of all, fuck you! I know how the sayings go. I know the jokes. I know the everlasting bandwagon that is ridiculing Rubuzi Gilliman and his children. I know it all. I've heard it all. It is a common thing within our ranks. But I am better than that. I am immune to your lampooning. I see Gilliman for what he truly is. A man with a godlike jawline.
Well, yeah.
And a beautiful boy who wishes to do his best by our imperium. He is honorable. He is just. He is noble. And he is self-aware.
Very important.
Which is exactly what you wish to imply he is not. I know better. I know he is what the Imperium needs. And when he returns, and he will, I am going to be a proponent of his majesty, as he once more becomes the Lord Commander of the Imperium, and aids our Emperor in turning this morass of incompetence back into a tidier morass that is not on fire.
That would be nice.
And that is it for my favorite Primarchs. If you have your own personal favorites list, then please do not mention it in the vicinity of our Emperor, lest you wish to be pounded into the ground in the worst possible manner. Okay, that's it. Bye!
Okay. I agree with you guys. This is great. Whew. That was awesome, but that really reminds me I should totally do my own top 20, although I should also say skip, and then number 18. So yeah, if you want me to do that, just let me know. It's gonna be interesting top 20, you know. So we're gonna get to each Primarch and tell you what I think about them, and you know, just measure attributes, abilities, qualities, and see who I will put first before another and why. I think that's gonna be interesting. I mean, it's gonna be interesting for me. It's gonna be a lot to think upon, you know, assessing, like measuring. Interesting. I love to do such things. I hope that you enjoyed this. Oh, Alpha Busa, I don't know how his name is pronounced. I'm always struggling with that. Alpha Busa voiced him himself, really? Well, he's a master. I mean, all of the voice actors, which I would call them actors because they're masterful. I mean, they're not just good, they're just so amazing that I'm floored by each and every voice performance that I ever heard from TTS. Whatever that, whether that be the main, you know, text-to-speech or the spin-offs, they're all so mind-blowingly well done. So yeah, and if he's done that, he's also absolutely superb. Oh, you do want to do that? I mean, to see that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you guys would watch this, okay? Hmm. Lehman Ross is doing the TTS tabletop ATM. I don't know what that should be, but okay. Yeah, they're all great. Uh, ooh. Wolf Lord Jagatai Khan versus Fulgrim. Okay. Let me see that. I mean, I'm just gonna see what it is real quick. If I can find it. Yes. Wolf Lord. Okay. So he's gonna make some comparison. I think I'm subscribed to him.
When I first saw this product, I thought.
Sorry, is it? Yeah, it's Oh Jesus! I don't need copyright on this stream. I'm gonna mute it. Play Game of Thrones game. Game that has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. Okay, I found it. Yes, I do have. I am subscribed to him. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna check that out. It's gonna be very interesting for me. See what more I can learn. It's always good, you know. Oh, you watch also. Awesome. Oh, well, you did see 29. I have not. But we are gonna see 29. You're gonna see 29 very soon. Oh, PTSD. Sorry. Sorry, I actually I didn't expect that to run. By the way, somebody excited for the spin-off Game of Thrones? Since we're on the topic, spin-off show that's gonna be before, you know, the series. I don't know if you guys even watch Game of Thrones, but I got really desperate after the last episode. So I'm like excited, but I'm like, okay. I mean, I want to see it, but fantasy show. I always want to see a fantasy show, but I'm waiting for The Witcher as well, season 2 of Travis Fimmel. Then it's yes. Well, he's busy with Raised by Wolves. Hey, yes, D&D are not directed yet. Oh, you too, Clayton. Oh, to me it was worse than mad, but it's just, I have my reasons. Game of Thrones in the Warhammer 40k. Yeah, that actually is a lot more towards Age of Sigmar. It's not that suitable for 40k, so it's gonna blend into Age of Sigmar a lot better. Well, Henry Cavill as The Witcher, he looks so freakingly amazing that every time, like, okay, okay. I mean, I'm like, but that's also because I just want to draw him. He looks amazing. I mean, that draw line is divine for sure. But his whole face, he's just so handsome. Okay, never mind that. So guys, I'm gonna go. And that's the 40k for tonight, for Friday night. I do want to play a game, which is a bit unwise, but I do. So, I want to have my cake and eat it too, basically. So, I'll probably just put on Death Stranding and see what I can do there. Just dwelling a bit more in that mystery. So, Death Stranding in maybe like 20 minutes when I rest a bit and see what's gonna happen with the story is extremely interesting. Really? Well, Ivy, I have not heard of this. Well, I can watch Travis Fimmel and everything. So yeah, I can never get enough of him. Although in Raised by Wolves he plays Ragnar. I mean, he plays the same mannerisms, the same everything. He's totally different character, but still plays in the same way. I mean, he's a good actor. He was lovely in, in that other movie. okay. How can I forget this? Whoa! Whoa! Damn it! So I can remember the abbreviation, but I cannot say the whole game. Wow, I am tired. Hmm. Ivy, you have to watch Raised by Wolves. I would have made a review, but I just didn't get to it. I would have made like a short review. But it's one of the best shows that I have ever seen in my life. It's so deep. I mean, the more you know, the more you're gonna understand from it. Let's leave it that way. There's so many symbolisms, and even the director. Oh gosh, damn it! What was his name? Ah, I'm really tired. Damn it! Oh, Clayton, you watched it already? You watched it? Oh yes. Okay. I meant Ridley Scott. He directed the first 2 or 3 episodes, I think. So, yeah, Ridley Scott was like, "Oh, I'm not sure. This is too much like Alien." And then he was like, "Oh, it's not actually too much like Aliens. It's actually pretty freaking deep and interesting. So I'm gonna direct that." And he was so inspired and so like thrilled, literally, with the script that he directed the first episodes. But I think then the next guy that directs is one of his relatives. I'm not really sure, but he had the same last name as him, maybe his brother, but I have not checked. Anyway, show is amazing. Watch it if you can. Yeah, raised by cats. This is just a metaphor. Everything's a metaphor, so it's really meaningful, guys. Okay, so going to play a game. If you want to watch, you're welcome, of course. But yeah, that's my way of. I mean, my other way of just enjoying Friday night playing a game. Just awesome with you guys. So I'm gonna do that. Have an amazing weekend. We're gonna probably see each other for sure tomorrow. Watch out for updates, of course. If you like to support me, check out the links down below. And of course, a video of OnlyFans is gonna be like again on. Oh, yeah, if I can, tomorrow it's gonna be totally on Sunday. And a new physique update because I actually lost weight, so I'm gonna showcase yeah, the next level of leanness that I actually managed to reach, to my surprise as well. So that's for just the general information for everybody that are also subscribed to me there. And good night to everybody else, guys. I love you. This was awesome time. I'm gonna continue with Vox-Logs if you wish me to, and I have to write down somewhere that I have to do a top 10 Primarchs. That's gonna be awesome. So I had a lovely time. Hope you did too, my dear Garrities, awesome Astartes. Sleep well or see each other in a bit. Kisses, guys. Bye bye.